everybody, welcome back to the Good News channel. It's your girl Britt Brat, and I just want y'all to know, put your seatbelt on, get some tissue, you might get some teary eyes, because this testimony is a true testament of God's faithfulness and Him always working on your behalf when you don't see it and even when you don't feel it. So stay tuned and enjoy.
Hey y'all, my name is Elizabeth, and I just wanted to share my testimony and just tell y'all how faithful God is. I have been pre-med for a very long time, many years it feels like. It's been really just a dream that's been placed in my heart, becoming a doctor since I was young, as long as I can remember. I had an opportunity to just cultivate that dream in middle school and high school. And of course, undergrad is where it really became the question of, is this what you really want to do? And that was the question I was asked many times in undergrad. I went to Texas A&M University, and being pre-med meant that you would take your OChems, your Gen Chems, biochems, along with whatever major you chose. Freshman year was tough for me. It was really tough. It was definitely a lot harder to get into the groove of things, way more than I anticipated. And because of that, my grades suffered. That's just a matter of fact. No matter how much I studied, no matter how much work I put in, I just felt like I couldn't seem to get the grades that I wanted. And of course, being pre-med, it was all about making a 3.8, right? It was, if you don't make a 4.0, if you don't, do this or that, forget medical school. And honestly, I remember even in A&M, there was an advisor that would always discourage all the students who had 3.5s or less, that, if you don't have this kind of GPA, don't even bother applying. And I knew in that time that I wasn't even close to even a 3.5. That's how bad it was for me. Even in the midst of that period, it was very discouraging. I can't even sugarcoat it for you guys. I just wondered, is this what I'm really supposed to do? I felt like this was supposed to be easy. When I got to school, I should just be making A's. It should just come easy to me. And it didn't. And I just asked God, is this what you really want me to do? Was I just making this up? Was this just a dream that I had as a little kid, and I didn't realize just how hard it would be to get there? But I really did feel like God told me clear as day. It was after my fall or spring semester when things just plummeted. My GPA was completely trash. I really do believe that I felt God tell me that I was going to get into medical school. Essentially, do not worry. I had that impression. And I remember in that moment, I'm sure it was in the shower. It's always in the shower, right? In that moment, I remember thinking, how is that even going to happen? Not with this GPA. Does God not know my stats? How is that going to happen? I just continued to trust, because truly, I felt like I had no other option at this point. I knew I wanted to be a doctor, and I couldn't see myself doing anything else. That was about freshman year. Sophomore year it improved, but it still was a little bit tough. But it wasn't until junior year to senior years when I started to see things improve. But by that point, the damage had already been done, and that whole dream of a 3.8 and above had sailed a long time ago. So I was really working with a very low, below average kind of GPA. I knew that I wasn't going to be the kind of student to apply straight out of undergrad. So I gave myself time to study for my MCAT. I had never studied like that before in my life, but God gave me the strength to just keep going and focus. And He blessed me with friends that were able to come with me together and just go on that journey together. We supported one another. And at the end of the day, we took the exam, and I ended up making above average, which was really good. I was very happy with that. I was like, okay, great, we got it. But I still had a GPA that I needed to improve, right? It still wasn't good. I mean, there was a lot of room for growth. There was a post-bac program that I applied to, and it got accepted. And it was actually at UNT, HSC is what it's called. And I got in there, and the idea is that it's supposed to simulate medical school. And this is what, you're going to experience medical school. So you want to get in there and do exceptionally well. Obviously, if it's simulating anything like medical school, then it's going to be very rigorous as well. So it was tough too. That's how it was, guys. It was not easy at all. You know, we were studying really challenging courses like anatomy, physiology, cell bio, histology, classes that some of them I hadn't even taken before. But God really held my hand through the whole thing, and I managed to come out of it alive. I still had that fire just inside of me, like, okay, this is what I want to do. And honestly, even though there were lows throughout my journey, even undergrad, God would just drop these gems here and there, whether it was shadowing opportunities or really great volunteering experiences, just things that I felt like, okay, I wouldn't have gotten this, I wouldn't have gotten that if this isn't what I was meant to do. So I held on to that. And of course it happened again, even throughout grad school. Like, I just continued to believe, like, God wasn't lying when he told me that I was going to get into medical school. The stats don't really look like it, but everything else is pointing towards it. I'm just going to keep going. I ended up applying after that grad program. Again, I was below average. It was truly, to many, they would consider it a leap of faith. But I did it, and I applied, and I had the audacity to even pray that I could get in the first time, because that's not usually likely. A lot of people have to apply multiple times. But I ended up applying to as many schools as I could. I applied to like 26 schools, spent a lot of money. Just, you know what, God, please just take the wheel, make it happen for me, Lord, please. I didn't really hear anything until maybe like September. I actually got an interview. And then after September, I didn't hear anything again until maybe December or so. And I was like, okay, I was just grateful for that one interview. In my mind, I just thought, all I need is one, just one school to accept me, and I'm great. But, you know, God blessed me even more than I thought. And I ended up getting 7 interviews after, like, by the end of the cycle. I was just amazed, because I never thought that that would be my future. When I thought of undergrad and, you know, just how discouraged I felt, and I thought about the future, I never thought I could be that kind of student that had that many interviews, and even at the end of the day, had options to choose from. And it's just God. Like, when he says that he can do above and beyond whatever you can ask, think, or imagine, he didn't just write that there for nothing. It's truly a fact. And he really showed out. I ended up getting accepted into the top school of my choice. I got accepted with my best friend, which just makes the testimony even sweeter. God's faithfulness just knows no bounds. And I'm still amazed. Like, we've started orientation and everything, and I just, the whole time I was truly on the brink of tears, just knowing, like, wow, God really did this. God really made it happen. When he told me that one, you know, sad day when I felt like I had failed my final, I was just in the shower crying, and he told me that, you know, I'm gonna get you there, don't worry. He was not lying. He's not a God who fails. Just use this as encouragement, whatever it is, whether you're pre-med as well, or you're striving for a career of your choice, or whatever you're believing in God for. Just know that if he's placed a dream in you, he will see it to completion. He's not a God that makes mistakes. He's not a God that wastes any opportunities as well. So just know that he has you, you're in the palm of his hands, and he's gonna get you there when he gets you there. And it's gonna be glorious. It's gonna be beyond whatever you could ask, think, or imagine. But yeah, thank you guys so much, and thank God.